Hi guys, and welcome back. As you can see from the schedule, I've begun the new season. We've played a number of games again. We had a 100% pre-season, which I'm really happy about. We won the Community Shield. Unfortunately, we lost the Super Cup on penalties. Both the Community Shield and the Euro Super Cup were against Chelsea. They both went to penalties. We won one, we lost one. I'm not too bothered about that. We've had a good start to the Premier League. We've got 3 wins from 3. I'll show you the goal scorers, but first, let's show you the transfer dealings, because obviously you may see some of the new transfers if we go into the goal scorers. So I'll quickly show you, as always, I'll begin with the outs. So the first player to leave is Davide Santon. He's gone back to Inter Milan. Obviously, he was a backup for us. They came in with a £25.5 million offer. He only played 13 times last season. £15 million profit. I couldn't turn that down. So Davide Santon back to Inter Milan. The second out, which is a little bit controversial, Juan Mata has left the club and he's rejoined Chelsea. His last season was plagued by injuries. When he came back from injury, he didn't really get in the team because Angel Correa was really performing well. So he's 30 years old. I got 33.5 million for him. That may rise to, I think it's 44. I couldn't really turn that down. Obviously, he's 30 years old. He only played 19 games for us last season. He wasn't going to play this year because Correa is now our best attacking midfielder, in my opinion. So Mata's gone back to Chelsea. A little bit disappointed. I am a big fan of Juan Mata, but that kind of money, 44 million for a 30-year-old, I couldn't turn that down. So let's move on to the next player to leave the club. So Henrik Mkhitaryan has left. I wasn't overly impressed with Mkhitaryan, to be perfectly honest. If you look at his stats as an inside forward, they're not fantastic. They're good, but for a player considering Barcelona have bought him, I don't know. He's just not the player I thought he was going to be. We got 44 million for him. That could rise to 49. He played 23 games for us last season, 3 goals, 7 assists, so it was okay. I think Gabriel Barbosa was going to come in and be the first choice right winger anyway. We brought in another right winger, so I thought Mkhitaryan can go. Barcelona came in with a £49 million offer. Couldn't turn that down. He's 29 years old. I think that's a good deal. So there's one more player that has left the club, and then we will get into the incoming players. So this one I was actually quite pleased with. Ignacio Camacho has joined Inter Milan. He didn't feature very much for us last year. He's more of a defensive midfielder. I signed him because he was a bargain, and I've sold him for 45 million. So we bought him for 19.25. He played 20 games for us. He was okay, but as I said, he was a bit too defensive for me. Sold him for 45. That to me is pretty good. That's pretty good dealing. So I'm happy with that. 45 million for a player that was only really on the fringe. He came on as a sub. I mean, if you look at them 20 games, 10 of them were substitute appearances. So 45 million for a 28-year-old that doesn't really play is brilliant in my opinion. So he's the last player that has left the club. Obviously there's a few players that have gone out on loan, a few free transfers that have gone, but we'll get into them after I've shown you the incoming players. So I will begin that now. So I'll start with a couple of youngsters that we've brought in. Facundo Ilya I think that's how you pronounce his name, has come in. He's gone straight back on loan to, I think that's the club we bought him from, Lanús. Yeah, so we got him on a free from Banfield in the Argentinian First Division, and he's gone to Lanús on loan. He's 18 years old. He is an attacking midfielder. If you look at his stats, they're very good for an 18-year-old. He's got 4.5 star potential, so I'm really happy with that. I think he's going to be good for us. He has gone out on loan, so we'll see how he gets on. Played 1 game so far, not had the best game, so we'll see how he gets on. There's one more young player we brought in on a free, so I'll quickly show you him. So the second young player we've brought in is Joel D'Alessandro. He is a central midfielder, again 18 years old, very good stats for an 18-year-old. We signed him from Athletic Rafaela on a free transfer, and he's gone on loan to Atletico Nacional in the Colombian First Division. He's played 6 games so far, got a 7.28, so that's pretty good. I'm quite happy with that. So again, just another young player for the future really. So let's move on to the next player. So there's another few youngsters that have been brought in. The first of which is a 17-year-old striker by the name of Lucas Feldner. Look at them stats for a 17-year-old. He is brilliant. He's on loan at Bournemouth at the moment. We signed him for 2.1 million from FC Red Bull Salzburg. Really, really impressed so far. I think he's been fantastic. He's okay at Bournemouth. He's had one game, not fantastic, but you know he's got 7 goals in 14 for FC Red Bull Salzburg. There, he's got 21 in 38 altogether in his career. 17 years old, really good stats. I'm really looking forward to trying him out when he comes back. I think there's 2 more young players we've brought in, so I'll quickly move through them. So the next one, Stuart Warren, 15 years old. He is a left back. If you look at his stats, they're not fantastic, but he is only 15. So he's only going to improve. He has come in for £4 million from Huddersfield. Again, I think he's going to be a fantastic player. He's in our under-18s at the moment. Obviously, he's 15 years old, so we can't loan him out as things currently stand. But a player I'm really looking forward to improving, see how he progresses, and hopefully in a few seasons, obviously, I won't be carrying it on that long, but I may play this offline because I'm really enjoying it. Hopefully, he'll be a really good player. So let's move on to the next player. I think there's one more young player, so I'll quickly show you him. Okay, so the final youngster I've brought in is Hakan Karadeniz. I'm assuming that's how you pronounce his name. He's 18-year-old and he's Turkish. He's a central midfielder. Again, really, really good stats for an 18-year-old. He has gone out on loan to Aves. We signed him for 4.4 million from Besiktas. He's gone to Aves in the Portuguese First Division. 3 games so far, not having the best of times over there, but 18 years old, really good stats. Again, looking forward to using him in the future. So I'll quickly move on now to the more important incomings. So, controversy continues. You saw we sold Davide Santon, so we had to replace him with a backup right back. And Sebastian Corchia has returned to the club, obviously. We sold him last season, but just wait till you see the transfer dealings from this, okay? So originally, we signed him for 7.25 million from Lille. We sold him for 15. He was there for half a season, and we bought him back for 4.9 million. So we bought him twice, and we still have profit. He's just come in, basic full, just back up for Raphael. But his stats are fairly well rounded for a right back. He's only 27 years old, so I thought he'll do a job for us. I'm pretty happy with that. So let's move on to the slightly bigger new players. So I'm sure most of you will have heard of this guy, Lincoln. We brought him in. He's 19 years old currently. He originally plays for Gremio. He moved to Valencia, played quite a few games for Valencia. We've brought him in for 22 million and loaned him out to Real San Sebastian, which is obviously Real Sociedad. His stats are really, really good for a 19-year-old, so I'm really looking forward to seeing how he progresses. He turned into a really, really good player on last year's Football Manager, so I haven't had a chance to use him this year. If anyone else has used him, leave a comment down below and let me know how he turns out. But yeah, really looking forward to getting him in at the end of the season and seeing how he progresses. So let's move on. Okay, so we have 3 more players. The first of which is a 19-year-old right back. His stats are fantastic for a 19-year-old, but unfortunately he does not have a work permit, so I'm having to try and loan him out. This is really the reason I signed Davide Santon, because I brought this guy in thinking he was going to be a backup right back with a view of being our first team right back. Couldn't get a work permit for him, but for his age, I think we paid 25 million for him, which seems like a lot for a 19-year-old, but look at his stats. You know, for a full back, an attacking full back, 13 crossing, 11 dribbling, 16 first touch, 10 marking, I mean, everything's over 10, which for a right back at 19 is brilliant. You rarely get a right back in his prime that has everything over 10. So I'm really happy with that. I think he's going to be a very, very good player. We need to find somewhere to send him out on loan, because otherwise he's just going to decrease in ability because he's not playing. So we'll see. We'll keep an eye on that. We'll make sure we get him loaned out and we'll see how he goes. So there's 2 more players to show you. The first one is a player I am really looking forward to trying. We brought him in because obviously Henrik Mkhitaryan's left. Riyad Mahrez from Leicester City. Look at them stats. 16 crossing, 18 dribbling, 16 finishing, 17 first touch, 16 passing, 17 technique, 16 composure, 18 flair. He looks fantastic. He's not played very much at the moment. We bought him for 30.5 million. He's had 2 games, both of them have been starts. Not playing fantastically well, but neither's Gabriel Barbosa for some reason. On that right hand side, we're struggling, but we'll look to resolve that in the near future. But yeah, really looking forward to getting Mahrez into the club. Really well-rounded stats for an inside forward. Really looking forward to trying him out. I'll show you the last player. So the final player we brought in is Leon Goretzka. We brought him in from Schalke. He's a 23-year-old central midfielder. You've probably heard of him. He looks really good for a deep line playmaker. We brought him in obviously with Camacho leaving. We've got Fred, we've got Renato Sanchez, we've got Pogba, obviously. So we do have a lot of options. £32.5 million we paid for him, but he had a very good last season for Schalke. As you can see from his reports, 3-star. He's better than Fred apparently. So I'm really looking forward to trying him out. I think statistically he looks really good. So I'm really looking forward to giving him a try. He's not really played much this season. So I'll show you the loan deals and the free transfers that have happened as well quickly. So as you can see, we've been through all of the incoming players. There's a lot of outgoings that we didn't cover. So obviously Lincoln's gone out on loan. Lucas Feldner has gone on loan. That's the player we mentioned before. Josh Harrop, Burkhardt, Borthwick Jackson's gone on loan to Wolves. Just looking for Connor Ellis, who's a youngster we brought in. He's gone to Scunthorpe. He's a 17-year-old with really high potential. Fabio Fakin, he's gone out on loan to Barnsley, another really promising youngster. Angel Gomez has gone to Rochdale. Tahith Chong's gone to Vitesse. Andreas Pereira to Cardiff. James Wilson to Ipswich. Maximiliano Romero's gone out on loan again to Vitesse. Still can't get a work permit for him for some reason. He's developing quite nicely though, so loaning him out for a few seasons is actually working out quite well. So we'll see how he gets on. Hopefully we can get a work permit for him soon. And Callum Gribbin has gone on loan to Rochdale also. So all in all, £125 million spent, £148 million incoming, and we have £157 million left. But I don't know who else to buy. So there may be some other incomings, there may not be. Obviously, transfer window's closed now, so it would have to be in January. But as things stand, I'm not really looking for any additional players. So we'll just see what happens. So let's quickly go through the goal scorers before we get in. I think we'll just have one game in this episode because obviously I've talked at you for quite a while. So the Community Shield game, Martial got our goal. We obviously won that on penalties. The Super Cup, Dybala, Smalling and Mahrez got the goals in that one. Lost that on penalties, unfortunately. Beat Tottenham 3-1. Dybala got 2 and Martial. We beat Burnley 2-0. Paul Pogba got both of them. They were both really good goals, actually. And then 6-0 against Everton. Fantastic performance. A hat-trick for Dybala, 2 for Renato Sanchez and 1 for Luke Shaw. So we've had a really good start to the season so far. Today will be the first real test, in my opinion. I mean, Tottenham was a difficult game, but obviously we're at home, so we were always favourites. Away at Arsenal today. So I'll quickly go away and pick the team, and I will be back with you to show you how we're lining up. Right guys, so this is how we're going to line up. Unfortunately, after a really good start to the season, Martial has picked up an injury. So we're starting with De Gea in goal. Rafael, Jimenez, Smalling and Shaw are the back four. Renato Sanchez and Pogba in midfield. Mahrez on the right, Rashford on the left, and Correa behind Dybala. On the bench we have Fosu Mensah, Bailey, Fred, Odegaard, Corchier, Barbosa and Goretzka. So let's get into this game and hopefully we can get a victory in the first episode on this season. Guys, I am really sorry. I've just come to edit this video and for some reason the game hasn't recorded. I'm really sorry. I picked the team and then when I pressed to start the game, the screen just went black. You could hear my voice, but there was no recording of this game. It has finished 2-2. We were actually 2-0 down, so I was really disappointed. I thought we were going to get stuffed. 2-0 down after 62 minutes, and then Barbosa and an own goal from Iwobi made it 2-2 in the 86th and 90th minute. I'm really, really sorry. I'll bring you another game just because obviously this has happened. Not a lot I can do about it now, unfortunately. I don't know what happened. So, again, really, really sorry. Let's move on to the next game. Right, guys, so this is how we're lining up for this game. Obviously, apologies again for the Arsenal game, so I'm bringing you the first game of the Champions League just to make up for it. So we're starting with De Gea in goal, Raphael, Smalling, Jimenez and Shaw, Fred and Pogba in midfield, Gabriel on the right, Rashford on the left, and Correa behind Dybala. I'm actually going to put Butland in goal just to give him a game. So that's how we're going to start. On the bench we have Corchia, Bailey, Sanchez, Depay, Willems, Wilshere and Mahrez. So let's get into this game and hopefully we can get a victory. So Dybala into the box, Padzan heads it away, it's Rashford now. I'm not even going to try and pronounce that, but he headed it away. Pogba picks it up to Dybala. Dybala tries to get in the box, it's Flamini now. Gets it clear, and Zogbia. A couple of ex-Premier League players there. Raphael should get on the end of that, he does. It's Raphael to Correa. Correa cuts it back to Pogba. Paul Pogba can hit it, he hits the post and it's cleared for a corner. Another guy I'm not going to try and pronounce clears it. This team is just full of people, full of players I can't pronounce. Dybala into the box, headed away by a guy I can't pronounce. Correa to Dybala. Dybala to the edge of the box for Jimenez. Jimenez to Rashford. Marcus Rashford, tackled by guy I can't pronounce, number 2. I'm just going to call them guy I can't pronounce 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 and 11. Fred to Gabriel. Barbosa cuts it back to Correa. Correa out wide to Shaw. Shaw into the box. And it's a penalty to United. Dybala will take it as always. It's Paulo Dybala. It's 1-0 United. Did anyone expect any different? Lovely penalty, as always, from the ever-reliable Paulo Dybala. Into the corner. What a penalty. 1-0. Okay, guys, so we go in at half-time with a 1-0 lead. Very comfortable first half. Not much has really happened other than the goal. So we'll get him out for the second half. Hopefully more of the same, but a few more goals. So Shaw with the throw-in to Pogba. Pogba to Fred. Fred out wide to Shaw. Keeps it in. Luke Shaw to Correa. Correa to Pogba. Pogba gets his shot away. He doesn't miss them. 2-0. Lovely little take past the defender. Finished into the corner. Keeper had no chance. 2-0. So, I'm going to make the first change. Mahrez is going to come on, as is Depay. And we'll leave it at that for now. Correa with a free kick to Fred. Out wide to Raphael. Raphael to Gabriel. Gabriel can win that back. It's Raphael again to Correa. Angel Correa is tackled by a guy I'm not going to pronounce 3. It's Langil. Langil still on the ball. Raphael commits a foul and he's going to be sent off here. That's not what we wanted. Raphael sees a second yellow card and has been sent to the stand for an early bath. Not a bath in the stand, obviously. Down to 10 men. I'm going to take off Correa, bring on Corchia, so we have a right back. 2-0 up, I'm not too worried. Half an hour to go. Smalling heads it away. Peluso now to Flamini. Flamini to Langil. Langil back to guy I'm not going to pronounce 2. Look for the ball through. Langil flicks it on. There's no one there. Smalling can collect. It's Corchia now. Finds Pogba. Pogba heads it on, but there's nobody there. Guy I'm not going to pronounce 1 to Moulin to Flamini. Out to guy I'm not going to pronounce 4. I think that's a new one. Flamini. Moulin. Moulin out wide to guy I'm not going to pronounce 5. Don't think I've done him either. Danny Abalo. Moulin through to Langil. Gets the shot away. Butland makes the save. Corner kick. Danny Abalo into the box, Butland collects. So into the box, Pogba heads it on, Smalling at the back post, collected by the goalkeeper. At least I can just call him the goalkeeper. So Smalling out wide to Shaw, Shaw to Pogba, Pogba to Rashford, Rashford cuts inside, tackled by Moulin. It's Flamini now to guy I'm not going to pronounce, I think he was 2. Don't think it really matters. Flamini, back to Pazdan. Langil to guy I'm not going to pronounce 3, Moulin. And he gives it away, Shaw now to Rashford, to Dybala. Dybala is tackled by Flamini from behind. That looked awfully foully to me. Jimenez wins the header. That is a word, by the way, foully, if you're wondering. Fred back to Jimenez. Just made it up. Pogba to Fred. Fred to Dybala. Dybala out wide to Corchia. Into the box. Rashford's at the back post. It's 3-0. 10 men or not. We don't care. That is 3-0. Lovely stuff. Lovely bit of football. Dybala with the ball out wide to Corchia. Corchia with the ball into the box. Rashford was there, unmarked. Finished it nicely into the corner. 3-0. So Jimenez wins the ball. It's Fred now to Smalling. Out wide to Corchia. To Gabriel. To Pogba. Pogba to Fred. Fred finds Dybala. Dybala is fouled by Moulin, who is going to get a sending off. 10 men each. Dybala takes the free kick and it's out for a corner, but the highlight's going to end. Rashford on the ball, it's intercepted. Flamini out wide to guy I'm not going to pronounce. I forgot which number's which now, so I don't really care. Guy I'm not going to pronounce again. Flamini. There's a lot of them on the pitch, isn't there? Langil in the middle. Takes it past the defender. Gets the shot away, and it's a nice goal for Stephen with 2 E's. Stephen Langil with a good goal. So he skipped past the challenge, and a nice finish. That was very, very nice, actually. Pains me to say. So it's the goal kick taken. It's guy I'm not going to pronounce on the ball. Plays the ball over the top. Smalling can collect that. Smalling to Corchia to Fred. Pogba is tackled, but it just falls to Dybala. Looks for Rashford. It's been cut out. Shaw will get there, hopefully. He does. But the guy I'm not going to pronounce manages to get the ball. It's another guy I'm not going to pronounce. This game's gone well, hasn't it? Fred to Jimenez. To Pogba. To Fred. Fred looked for the ball out wide, but it's been intercepted by another guy I'm not going to pronounce. Played it through to Stephen Langil. It's Langil, and it's another goal for Legia Warsaw and for Stephen Langil. I think we'll still win the game, but I'm very, very surprised to concede 2 goals at home. To Legia Warsaw as well. Well, he looks alright, that Stephen Langil. Let's have a look at his stats. He looks half decent. So, a left winger with 10 finishing, and who is valued at 275 grand a week. 275 grand, I should say. He's only 1.4 grand a week. He's got 2 goals at Old Trafford. He's played for a number of clubs over the years. Ended up at Legia Warsaw and ended up scoring 2 goals against Manchester United. It's not bad going, is it? So it looks like it's going to be another highlight here. Don't tell me they're going to equalise. Flamini gets the ball in the box, straight through to Butland. Butland with the ball over the top. Dybala wins the header. It's Rashford now to Dybala. To Pogba. Out wide to Luke Shaw. Shaw can get it in. It's cut back to Pogba. It's taken a deflection and it's gone into the back of the net for Pogba's 2nd goal of the game. The ball went out wide to Shaw. Shaw went to get the cross in. It was deflected to Pogba. He hit it first time. Took a deflection off the defender. Sent the keeper the wrong way. 4-2. So Jimenez with the free kick. Doesn't look like it's over yet. Shaw will run with it. Gives it to Rashford. Rashford to Pogba to Fred. Fred with the ball out wide to Luke Shaw. Shaw gets it into the box. Cleared away by Pazdan. It's Paul Pogba to Shaw. Shaw back to Pogba. Pogba to Fred. And it's saved by the goalkeeper. Stachowiak. There we go. I've said one. Pazdan to Ojibja. Danny Abalo to Langil. Please don't give it to one of the other ones. I don't want to try and say that. Langil runs with it. All the way back to Ojibja. Gives it away to Korchia. Korchia to Pogba. Pogba with the ball out wide. And there goes the full-time whistle. Man United 4. Legia Warsaw 2. Fairly hard fought. Bit of a roller coaster of a game. But we managed to get the victory. We have 3 points in the Champions League group stages. Let's have a quick look at the league table before we end this episode. So as things stand, we're top of the league. 3 wins from 4 and 1 draw, which was the game against Arsenal, which unfortunately I couldn't bring you due to, for some reason, my footage just not recording. So top of the league, 10 points from 4 games, top of the Champions League group. Really happy with the way we've started this season. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you did enjoy. If you did, leave a like on the video as always, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and I will see you next time.